Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 are coming to Switch with visual overhauls, but will otherwise retain the same gameplay. In fact, you will be able to switch back and forth between the old and new visual styles. Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 Remastered will be available on Switch Valentine's Day. Okay. Any thoughts? I know you're a big Tomb Raider fan, at least of the originals.
Yeah, the first three were okay. The first three, I have to say, were like the most impactful of my life because I have to think like a fucking logical man with a Tomb Raider Lara Croft figure like that in front of me. So it's kind of like, you have to think like at the same time, it's like that phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to do the platforming. You gotta find this code, find this key code, while staring at Lara Croft, and to you it's like something from National Geographic. So it's like,
Dude, she was polygons back then in the original PlayStation days.
Exactly, that was back then, of course, 25 years ago, my friend. I mean, like, you understand, like, it's different times back then. Our fathers were into Playboy, now we're into Tomb Raider, and now the kids, I don't know where the kids are going on, but you know what I mean,
Yes, this is a subject better not explored when you're talking with Dr. Games. I could just imagine. I don't know if you played like any of the Tomb Raider games that came out recently, like over the last 5 years. But if you've at least seen them in gameplay, how do you think Lara Croft looks now? I mean,
yeah, it's different now. It's like she's just a dirty version of herself. It's not turned on. It's not like listen. It was like because she doesn't have the ha-has and the ba-bas, On a serious note, though, the first 3 to 5 Tomb Raider games I played every year, not every single year, but whenever I get my chance to with my friends and all, because I didn't own any of the Tomb Raider games until like 2010, 2011, the first 5
really?
Games especially, because I had to wait on my friends to buy the game for us to play, because they're like, they're brothers with each other, and they get the games every year from their parents and all. Depends on who I'm talking to or who I'm hanging around with at the time. But after the 25th anniversary sale on Steam, I got all the Tomb Raider games on my Steam profile right now, on my Steam account. And the only thing I'm waiting for after Tomb Raider 5, after the first 5 is to play the reboots on my PC because they require a lot of information, a lot of processing speed. So I spent about $40 on that bundle from Steam's sale. It was worth it too. So thank God I did it. I also have the first 5 Tomb Raider games on the PS1. So either or. The only difference is that you can save any time on the PC version, while Tomb Raider 3 on the PS1 version, you have to save every save game crystal you find. So it's a bitch at the time for Tomb Raider 3. And I'm not sure about Tomb Raider 4 Last Revelation on PS1, and Tomb Raider Chronicles I played on the first 10 minutes of that game so far. So I think
I played a little bit of Tomb Raider Chronicles, which is the 5th game in the series. I remember liking it, but I only played it once.
Yeah, I could play anytime I want to with these first 5 games, especially on the PC of the Steam account and all. But after that, right now it's a mixture of like going back and forth between Tomb Raider 2 and 3, because Tomb Raider 2 on the Steam, they don't have the proper controller support, because no matter how many times you change it, how many times you configure it, or what's out there for people, it's too old to configure the control settings for the Xbox One controller, let alone for any controllers, the Switch, the PlayStation 3 or 4 or 5. So it's not supported at all, and it's hard to find those type of settings for Tomb Raider 2. But Tomb Raider 3 works very well with your with the Xbox One, 360, PS4 or 5 controllers, no problem. So it's pretty good. I get hooked onto to doing all those moves and killing those bad guys and all. Use the boat, use the quad bike, go against the T-Rex dinosaur in Tomb Raider 1 and 3. So what I remember, because it was hard to defeat the dinosaur for the first time in Tomb Raider 1 when I first encountered it ever. I was like, damn, I'm going to kill this dinosaur with pistols, you know? So it's...
Yeah, didn't you start doing I don't know if you finished it, didn't you start doing a video series of a Let's Play of Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider 1, yes, I did that. I finished it actually like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. I only remember like one video of it, so I wasn't sure if you finished it or not.
It's on BitChute. All the parts are on BitChute. That's where I record everything. And
okay.
Yeah, I have to say, guys, if you want to think and to give yourself a lively experience of like avoiding obstacles and dangerous traps and all, by all means, go for getting the next bundle of the next Tomb Raider sale, if ever, you know. Not sure what would happen, but that's how I got my Tomb Raider games. I got them on sale. Well, the PS1 version, I got the first 5 of them for about $10 at some. Tomb Raider 3, I think I got that from one of those outlets in Madison Square Garden in Manhattan. Because every year or two they have these special sales at the Garden for like $10 for the PS1 games at the time, $5 for Super Nintendo games, stuff like that. So it was pretty cool at the time. I don't think they don't do that anymore. It's been so many years ago. That was like 2000 and 2004. I went to that place because I got my actual mint trench coat, my own trench coat that I got for my mom's money and all. So it was pretty cool that mom offered me some extra money to buy a game there. And I told her about the mint coat, or it was a mint coat. It was some sort of coat where it was like a special material, like a wool or a fabric or like a mint. I can't explain it. It was such a long time ago, guys. Oh man, it's worth it. It's worth to go to that center, to that place in the Square Garden between somewhere to November or December, right before Christmas ends or something like that. So. Yeah, it's a long time, guys, but I had good times with the Tomb Raider games back then, and still to this day. Last time I played Tomb Raider was Tomb Raider 2, like a month or two ago, during the summertime. And all I have to do is use keyboard and mouse, or keyboard only, no big deal. I prefer with a controller, though, PS1 controller, with a dual shock. But if you want to get the PS1 experience, go get the PS1 experience. So that's how I feel about the Tomb Raider games, Well, other than that, yeah, it's good that Switch is reinvigorating a new audience, a new fans to join the fray. Tomb Raider games, I like Switch doing that.
Yeah, so it's the first 3 are going to be remastered on Switch. That's going to be great for people who, because keep in mind these games came out, like 25 years ago. Any young gamer who tried the original Tomb Raider or the first 3 Tomb Raider games would probably be turned off by the graphics. So the fact that they're going to be remastered but keeping the same gameplay, I think that's the way to go to introduce new gamers around from today to the old Tomb Raider games.
Oh yeah, it's just like the 20th anniversary of Tomb Raider that came out back about 10 years ago. Back around the year 2010 or 2012 or 13, give or take, it was available on the 360 for about $25-$30. So it was worth it,
I don't remember that, but I think a new Tomb Raider game had come out just at the time. It was like a reboot of Tomb Raider.
Well, it's an anniversary edition. It's like it's basically the 15th, if not the 10th anniversary of Tomb Raider. I'm not sure the exact date. It was somewhere between the 10th and 15th anniversary of the first Tomb Raider game that came out back in 94, 95.
Yeah, I just remember my younger brother. He had gotten it, and he wouldn't trade it to me before he left. But yeah, I do remember the reboot. Unfortunately, the reboot didn't seem to do as well as the original series, which I guess that's common for reboots. But yeah, so if you always felt like you wanted to get into the original Tomb Raider games, but the graphics would turn you off, they'll be remastered on Switch, and they're coming out Valentine's Day 2024.
Definitely for your sweetheart right there.
I do have to bring this up though. It's funny when Dr. Games 101 was saying when Dr. Games 101 was saying he had to make the right choices. I was just having flashbacks. Do you remember a game coming that was supposed to come out that ended up getting canceled called Gamer Girl?
I heard of something like that before. Tell more about that.
Basically, you control this you control this girl who was like a streamer. But the thing is, basically, you could control her adventure. So, like, one of her friends disappears. You could choose either she goes and investigates what happened to her friend by herself, or she goes gets another friend for backup, then investigates. Honestly, I probably would have picked the more interesting option, going there by herself. But you know, so I probably wouldn't have made the smartest decisions had that game come out. Hey, pick the more interesting one. Why not? It's just a game, after all. So yeah, and it's just when Dr. Games 101 was talking about that, just made me think about that for some reason. Making the worst choices on purpose. Anything else to add, or ready to move on?
I just want to say, with a clear sight right now, I'm sorry for reminiscing the past and thinking about girls at the same time with this Lara Croft character, because she's one of the I have to say, she one of the best female characters of all gaming history, in my perspective. And because it's like the ideal girl. She's smart, she's intelligent, she's good looking, she got the right features, the attributes. She can jump and flip and you name it, and still can read study archaeology with no problems. You know, it's kind of fucking crazy right there to have that all in one of the ideal woman right there. That's like a true English woman right there to have. You know, so keep that in mind, guys. See if you want to find your first mate, you know, or any mate you want.
Yes, I'm sure a million people would love to have a Tomb Raider Lara Croft girlfriend, just especially if she looked like Angelina Jolie, who played her in the Tomb Raider movies.
Yeah, but I got those on VHS too.
But I don't think that's going to happen. And make sure it's not Tomb Raider, and make sure it's not Lara Croft from Tomb Raider: Angel of Darkness. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that game. I was like, what the fuck? I was in college at the time playing that game in my PC cyber cafe that we have in our college, upstate New York.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a second, why am I still playing this game? I know it sucks. The review said it sucks, and I'm trying to play it, and I'm just seeing the ragdoll effects, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, I like Darkness the Curse. He did like over a 20-minute review on Tomb Raider: Angel of Darkness, and when he was talking about Lara's personality, he goes, "Lara's always been a strong woman. Lara's always been a no-nonsense type of person, but none of that translates being a total fucking bitch the whole time."
Yeah. Yep, those are the days, alright.
Ready to move on?
Yeah, ready to move on.
Nice. It's fun to reminisce.
Yes.
Contra, Operation Galuga is a reimagining of the NES classic for Switch. Konami and developer WayForward are bringing a newish Contra to the Switch.